All right, folks, welcome back. Joining us now is Minister Quanell X, national spokesman for the new Black Panther Nation and leader of the new Black Panther Party in Texas. Minister, welcome. Good to talk to you again, sir. What's your reaction to first the verdict or the non-verdict, the no bill? Go ahead.
I'm extremely disappointed. I'm angry and I'm outraged that the Ferguson district attorney did exactly what the suspicions of the people in Ferguson said he would do. That's why many called for him to recuse himself and to bring on an independent investigator and an independent DA to present that case to the grand jury. So none of us are really shocked by what happened because we believe he was never, ever going to truly seek an indictment against Darren Wilson.
Well, are you saying then that the evidence wasn't true? What part of the evidence, as presented to us last night, and it is all of it's out there, it's available, the forensics, the three autopsies, which all agree, the witnesses, the black witnesses who saw him charge at the officer, what is it that you have a problem with and don't believe?
What we have a problem with is, one, we all agree that there was a struggle between Michael Brown and Darren Wilson. But what we also disagree with was that deadly force was necessary when Mr. Brown had his hands in the air. Some of the witnesses did change their statements, but some stuck to exactly what they said in the beginning, that he had his hands raised, he was not charging, and that he was shot.
But Minister, that's not what the forensics showed. It's not what the autopsy showed. So no, I don't know. So how could you say that you can't go by witnesses once the forensics don't match up?
The autopsy showed that several of the shots came when Mr. Brown was bent over, going down to the ground, shot in the top of the head.
Right, as he was charging the officer. I believe there were 8 African Americans, from what was reported earlier, that said that backed up Officer Wilson's story. That's not good enough for you?
I have not heard that story. I've heard that there have been 3 who gave a story about it looks like he was going back toward him, but I was told that it was 8 that said he was not charging Mr. Wilson.
All right. Now, first of all, you got are you aware of the stepfather who was with the stepfather, Michael Brown, who was with the mother, and at the time when the verdict came down, she cried, he hugged her, then he came out and he started saying, burn the place down, burn the place down. Do you think he should be charged with incitement?
Absolutely not. I believe that he's a father that has suffered a loss that you and I have not suffered. I believe he's a father that believes the system failed him, and the system made promises to his family during the grand jury process and procedure that they did not keep. So he's speaking out of hurt and pain and the loss of a son. I think that we should be empathetic and sympathetic with that reality.
Okay, so if somebody runs over, God forbid, as happened in Crown Heights, let's say, in Brooklyn all those years ago, someone runs over someone's child, and it's in a black neighborhood and everybody there is black and it was a white driver, or vice versa for that matter, and the parent sees their son on the ground or their daughter on the ground dying and bleeding, and they say, get the mother blank, get him, go kill him, and they do. That's not inciting to riot? We should excuse that?
No, I believe that we should understand that the parent and would be speaking of hurt, anger, and pain, and I would hope that reasonable minds would surround both parties, the parent and the driver, and protect both of them. But remember, the only one who has a history of killing somebody from running over their child in New York and the person never being seen again is John Gotti, not black people in New York.
John, I don't know where you got John Gotti from. What about the...
When John Gotti's son...
I'm not going into John Gotti, and I don't have enough time, Quanell. Quanell, I don't have enough time to go to John Gotti. What about what the people did in Ferguson last night and looted and set fire and rioted? What about them? What do you think of them?
I want to say to my brothers and sisters in Ferguson who's looting and burning down your own stores and going and destroying your own community, that's counterproductive, and it takes away from the call of justice for the Brown family, and it sidetracks the issue on your behavior and not keep the issue on misconduct with police officers using deadly force. So those who are looting, you're not helping because you're hurting it, because we lose the integrity and moral authority that we have to stand and call for justice, and you make our jobs very hard.
Is this the case? Do you believe this is a civil rights case?
Absolutely, I do. No,
an 18-year-old man who robs a store is identified by a police officer as the robber because he fits the description, punches the cop, gets in the car, grabs for his gun, runs, and by the way, in Missouri, you then have the right to shoot a fleeing felon. He did not shoot a fleeing felon. He waited till the fleeing felon came back at him to attack him in his own mind and felt a threat. That's what you're going to bat for? That's the civil rights case of our time?
No, that's a concocted version of those who want to put a spin on it different from what it really is. That man waited till he turned around and put his hands in the air and then emptied his clip into him. That's one. Two, Michael Brown should be punished for the crime that he committed in that store, but it does not give Darren Wilson the right to be judge, jury, executioner out on the scene.
Darren Wilson has a right to defend himself, as he did, as the grand jury found. And Minister Quanell X, I thank you for your time, as always. Thank you very much. Up next, folks, thank you, Reverend Jesse Lee Peterson, who has quite a different take. Don't go away.